and Bob Mirovic.
Oh, it's time for a little bit of bad medicine. Making his way to the ring is the man they dub the Giant, and for very good reason. He is huge. He is the mastodon of Aussie heavyweight boxing, Bob Mirovic. Mirovic here taking on the nasty boy, Nathan Briggs, for the Australian Heavyweight Championship. This should be a slugfest.
Red corner.
Making his way to the ring, the Pan-Pacific Heavyweight Champion. They call him the nasty boy, Nathan Briggs. Perhaps the biggest test of Briggs' pro boxing career so far, as he steps up against the man they dub the Giant.
My preparation for this has been excellent. It's the best preparation I've ever had for a fight. My transition to boxing has been good as well. It's a new start for me, and I've got a proper trainer with the boxing. Bob's a good fighter, he's got a lot of experience, but I've given myself 100% for this fight. I'm the fittest I've ever been, and I can't wait. It's the first time I'm excited to get in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, a boxing contest awaits us. We are scheduled for 12 3-minute rounds for the Australian heavyweight title. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is now based on the central coast of New South Wales under the watchful eye of the barnstormer, Angelo Hyder. A former New South Wales and Australian heavyweight champion. 12 wins and 5 knockouts on his resume. He is the #1 ranked challenger in the land, weighing in at 116.65 kilos, the Giant, Bob Mirovic. Standing across the ring and fighting out of the red corner, he hails from the Gold Coast in Queensland, weighing in at 102.2 kilos. 4 fights, 4 wins, 4 wins via way of knockout. He has the perfect record. A former kickboxing sensation, making the first defence of his Australian heavyweight title. Ladies and gentlemen, the nasty boy, Nathan Briggs. And look out, Giants, the referee in charge of the action when the bell rings, Cyril Cairns. Your judges at ringside, Gary Lawrence, Derek Millam and Brad Ficali.
Well, a great ovation here for the nasty boy, Nathan Briggs, the local favourite. And Cyril Cairns, our third man in centering, will call both men to the centre of the squared circle. The Australian Heavyweight Championship on the line. Will it be the Giant, the Mastodon, Bob Mirovic, or the undefeated nasty boy, Nathan Briggs?
Nathan, Bob.
Cyril Cairns now in centre ring with the nasty boy and the Giant. Let's see how they stack up for size.
I want a good clean fight, no rabbit punching, no kidney punch. When I say break, step back and break clean. Defend yourself at all times, obey my command at all times. Shake hands, good luck.
Well, pretty even in the height and reach department. The weight advantage obviously going the way of the Giant, Bob Mirovic, and we are set, the Australian title on the line. And this one should be a corker. Nobody expects it to go the distance. It's going to end somewhere along the line. You've just got that feeling that one of these men will plug out the big goodnight Irene, because they're both a couple of big boys.
Well, have a look at the size of Bob Mirovic, Michael. Isn't he the Giant indeed?
That is why they call Bob Mirovic the Giant. Look out for the snappy jab and body shots on Nathan Briggs. He's already starting to work them early here, the nasty boy.
It is test time for Nathan Briggs. 2 massive men inside the squared circle. And it is test time. Briggs, his first defence, and was in fact scheduled to meet big Bob Mirovic only a couple of months ago for the vacant Aussie title. Mirovic pulled out late, and that is when Nathan Briggs won it against Johnny the Digger Wyborn.
Well, another former Australian kickboxing champion, the Digger, John Wyborn, a very awkward fighter indeed. And if Nathan Briggs overcame John Wyborn, then he could virtually do anything. But he's got to overcome the big fella, and a much greater weight advantage on the Giant, Bob Mirovic, right here in centre ring.
About 14 kilos it is, Michael, and it's 14 kilos of muscle and power. And Mirovic really does possess plenty of power. His knockout record is not that spectacular, But you go and ask some of the blokes he has hit, they are hit and they stay hit. Very good technician, though. Despite his size, you'd think he'd be a big one-arm bomber, but a very good technician under the watchful eye of Angelo Hyder, the central coast of New South Wales. Both men just trying to establish reach and dominance. Briggs on the front foot for the majority of the opening half of this first round.
Bit of nimble footwork there, Andy, from Bob Mirovic for a big fella, getting out of the way of that snaking jab of Nathan Briggs.
It's a punch you'll see plenty of. Both guys very well schooled inside the gym. Put through the pads well by their respective trainers, Angelo Hyder and Rod Waterhouse. You will see plenty of jabs and you'll see everything flowing from that. In fact, how boxing was meant to be. It is quite so often forgotten.
Well, a technical clean cut so far. 2 minutes down here in the first round. Uppercut, right-hand combination there from Bob Mirovic. Both men are orthodox fighters, so no southpaws in this one to mess up things. And Briggs continues to probe away with that sticky left jab of his. Almost connects with an overhand right on Bob Mirovic. 2.25 minutes down, Hammer, in the first round.
Well, Mirovic holding his hands a little low under pressure, tends to drop his hands a little. Nathan has speed, obviously, over Bob. But Bob's timing is pretty good. If Nathan leaves an opening there, I noticed he's slipping the jab in tidily and just waiting to unload with that big right. He's got good timing, Mirovic. He's also got a good eye. He can spot an opening pretty quickly as well.
Closing stages of the opening round. Nothing clear-cut in this one. Generally the feeling out process. Nathan Briggs, though, has been the aggressor and connected there with an overhand right to call an end to proceedings. So it's probably a 10-9 round in favour of the champion, making his first title defence of the biggest belt in Australian boxing. Let's go into the corner with the nasty boy.
Put your legs out, mate. Come on. That's right. Breathe.
Had a really good round, mate. Very happy with
Champion. Champion.
So move more. Okay. Move more. Right. You're doing all right. Don't want to use up too much energy. You're going good.
Champion.
Reinforcing the mental message there, Mark Casmini. You've been there and done it in the ring, and it is so important. The champion, perhaps Nathan Briggs, a little down on confidence at the moment. They're just reminding him, you are the champion.
Well, it's horses for courses. Obviously, you've got someone like Wayne Carr that doesn't need reminding. He's got more than enough confidence to make up for everyone. But Nathan, he's interested to hear what the trainer's got to say, and it's a very individualistic thing where the trainer will know his fighter, and he'll either build you up or he'll tell you to focus or whatever it might be. And I think Nathan is the type of fighter. He's a very humble man, Nathan, and I think he likes to get a bit of feedback from Rob and just say, look, how am I doing? Am I doing okay? And I'm still the champ and all that stuff. So, but he's certainly racking up the points. He's moving quicker. He's putting the jab in more on the joint. And I'd say, as you said, Andy, the first round went to the champ, Nathan Briggs.
Speaking of Briggs being humble, well, he was in fact, Michael, humbled towards the latter stages of his kickboxing career. Basically had enough with officialdom and said, I'm switching.
Well, most recently, of course, in February on the K1 Oceania, he was tipped as a favourite and he got clocked by Mark Hunt, who went on to become the K1 Oceania champion. And he got dropped twice in the first round against Mark Hunt, a big bomber Mark Hunt. And Nathan said goodbye to kickboxing, and now in the pro boxing ranks 4-0 against Bob Mirovic. And just interestingly on the point of the humbleness of Nathan Briggs, a very quiet and reserved fighter, nothing at all like his brother Paul, and they're actually hard to believe that they're twin brothers. Difference in size, difference in looks, and also a very big difference in the personality of the two brothers. And I think they're actually the first brothers, if I'm not wrong, to win Australian national titles in boxing, Andy.
First twin brothers, in fact, to win national boxing titles anywhere in the world. And Nathan joined brother Paul at the top of the tree, and a nice straight right there from the nasty boy. First upstairs, then down low, throwing some nice combination punches.
That is good combination there. We've seen a lot of the boxers just get drawn into that head hunting routine and lose focus that the whole upper body.
Oh,
above the
Briggs
belt.
just collects him there with a short left hook to the side of the head. That rocked Mirovic.
Well, you know, as I was saying, from above the belt, it's all target area. You know, a lot of fighters are getting just sucked into head hunting.
Big straight right hand there again by Nathan Briggs using his long reach. Mirovic just slams a straight right left combination. And Briggs just smiles at him, says, come on, Giant. Is that all you've got for me?
Interesting comment that talking to Nathan, I think it was late last year when he started to think about making the transition to boxing. And he was saying, look, it is so much easier on your body than Thai boxing or kickboxing. Your legs aren't getting banged up. You can walk the next day and all the rest of it. So it's interesting the comments that came from Nathan with regards to the toll it was taking on his body in the kickboxing.
The punch working for Nathan Briggs at the moment is the straight right, and really doesn't matter if it's down low or up high. But he managed on that occasion to rock the big giant Bob Mirovic with a beautiful straight right hand, and it was the money punch, caught Mirovic flush. But the big bloke, former national and New South Wales champion, really didn't budge. You're going to hit him with the sledgehammer as the bell rings to finish round number 2. Again, Nathan Briggs dominating.
Especially with that right hand, Andy. He's working that right-handed treat now, Nathan Briggs. Landing it right, he's got his distance in, and he's starting to work it to the body and to the head. So that's a good technique, good range fighting. There it is, big right hand straight off. Nice left hook off it. And Nathan Briggs is certainly looking the goods and national champion level, that's for sure. Body, up to the head, bang, nice tidy left hook. He's working the ranges now, and well done to Nathan Briggs that round.
A beautiful short, sharp left on that occasion, and like most of the good punches, it only travelled about 8 inches. There was no big wind-up.
That's right, Andy, good pick up. He needs to just rolled it off the hip, had the hand cocked and ready, and as he rolled off to his right, he let the left go with it, pop. There was a nice slap, thank you very much, to the side of the head of Bob Mirovic via the left hand.
There goes the bell for round number 3. One thing Nathan Briggs does have in his favour, he's a very busy fighter. Only made his debut in November of 2000. There's 4 fights already, this being his 5th. So he's extremely well conditioned. There's nothing like match fitness, as they say in rugby league, AFL and rugby union. There's nothing like ring fitness when it comes to boxing or kickboxing, and Nathan Briggs certainly has that in his favour.
Well, Briggs always has been one of the finest conditioned heavyweights in kickboxing, now bringing that fine conditioning into boxing, as well as brother Paul. You'll never see him going half-hearted, Paul Briggs, or half-fit, always fully fit. When he won his world title against Winston Walker over there in Japan, of course, he was at the peak of his career, and we will see Paul Briggs later on tonight. But at the moment, Bob Mirovic just snapping out that jab on the chin of Nathan Briggs. 37 seconds down here in this round, but it has been Briggs so far, and he is, as Andy pointed out early on, the defending champion. So Bob Mirovic must lift to that next level to defeat the defending champion.
Well, he's certainly been very much on the back foot, Mirovic, as he catches Briggs with another short left. The jab is working well for Mirovic at this point in time. It is perhaps his most effective weapon. Has not been able to catch Briggs with any wild rights or any rights that have told the story. Nathan Briggs again, he's got the big bloke on the back foot, and as long as Bob Mirovic, all 116.5 kilos of him, is on the back foot, he is going to struggle.
Nice body shot off the right hand there from the nasty boy, Nathan Briggs. Just drops the left hand down to the bread basket as well. What a huge bread basket that is too on Bob Mirovic.
Almost as big as your bread basket. Yours is more bakery though.
Couple of loaves in there, Hammer. Snappy jab again there, just peppering away the left hand from Nathan Briggs, and almost weaves into a short right from Mirovic. But Briggs really does have Mirovic on the back step, as Andy said earlier on. Connects to the short left hook. Sweat just flying off the brow of the big man.
Nice overhand left there from Briggs as well.
Middle stages of the round. Bob Mirovic in the black and white piping. The challenger, the nasty boy Nathan Briggs, the hometown hero, doing the majority of the work in the 2 blues. Mirovic's working well off the jab, but just hasn't been able to find range.
Subtle left hand there from the giant Bob Mirovic sent Nathan Briggs back a step. Just a taste of the power of Bob Mirovic, and you feel that Mirovic really hasn't landed any big salvos. There was a tagging left hand, just caught Mirovic on the tip of the nose, that one. He sticks out the jab again.
Well, Mirovic almost weary of Briggs. He's continually on the back foot, and he's really not letting that right hand go nearly enough. He's got to get a bit more busy. Mirovic, a bit more aggro as well. Start to fire out the technique.
He's a very quiet bloke, Bob Mirovic, outside of the ring. Not a lot to say, a true gentleman. But there's no BS about him. He gets in there and does the stuff, but that is one thing, in fact, Mark, that trainer Angelo Hyder has been trying to get out of his charge just to be a little more animated. A better work ethic, a better work rate. We may see that towards the next couple of rounds, but at this stage it is the champion Nathan Briggs dominating in centre ring.
Well, by this stage of the fight, Andy, both fighters know the style of the other by now. There's going to be no drastic changes, nothing unexpected. They're there. They've had a couple of rounds to work out each other, and the feeling out process is over now. And now it's going to be, let's dig in, let's go that next gear and see what there is to offer. Nathan Briggs still a little bit too quick for Mirovic, although Mirovic landing the jab as we just saw there. Once again, Briggs just taking that right hand on the forearm. He's got to step through. One thing that Briggs is doing is of course, he's going body head, and that's all got to be scoring well for him.
There's been no huge blows so far in the opening 3 rounds of this Australian heavyweight title fight, and you could excuse Mirovic for being a little cautious in the early stages and perhaps figuring out his opponent. Not a lot of the boxing fraternity, despite the fact he does hold the national title, know a lot about Nathan Briggs or know a lot about his style. And it's not a silly game plan, Michael Chavello. Holding tight, keeping the hands up and waiting to see what he does for the first 3 rounds. Opening stage of the 4th, and a beautiful straight right hand from Nathan Briggs.
Exactly, and you saw a fight earlier on in John Wayne Parr who relied a lot on aggression. Now, Nathan Briggs, as in his kickboxing career, is a master at choosing the opening on an opponent. He'll probe that jab right through the defence of Mirovic, and he'll hit him most times. There's a beautiful looping hook, catches Mirovic on the ear, and you'll find that Briggs does connect with most of his punches. He might not throw as many as, say, a John Wayne Parr, but what he does throw will connect, and it will hurt Bob Mirovic.
And a very good counter-puncher is Nathan Briggs. Despite their records, the Briggs twins, Paul and Nathan, in the boxing ring, the professional boxing ring, as Nathan goes on the attack, and Mirovic in the corner and absorbing the best shots of the fight so far. The body rips are starting to hurt the big man. Not that you'd know, he walks straight back out and into another couple. If this one goes any longer, the fitness of both men will start to fall, and this will end up toe-to-toe, centre ring, a Pier 17 brawl.
Well, Bob Mirovic just pouncing on Nathan Briggs there. Thought maybe an accidental head clash, and Nathan took a short break. And you can hear Angelo Hyder in the corner screaming at Mirovic to pounce on him. Again, Mirovic did not take the opportunity and seize on the chance to really pounce on Nathan Briggs. Sticks out the jab again, backs him against the ropes now. Short uppercut there from Mirovic, leaning his body weight down on Nathan Briggs. And Cyril Cairns, that separates both men. How short is Cyril Cairns compared to these two titans, Andy?
Yeah, little Cyril in charge of this one, and he has the respect of both guys, along with Bradford Carley, one of the more respected members of the Australian refereeing community. As I was saying earlier about the Briggs boys, despite their 100% record each in professional boxing, gentlemen, you've seen them kickboxing for many years. I'm not saying I'm asking the question, but there are plenty of questions in kickboxing as to whether these two guys are chinny.
Well, I'm not going to answer that one, because in my opinion, you get in there and it's always, especially in the heavyweight, the super heavyweight rank, there's only ever a shot in it. You can get caught, and you can have a succession of bad luck where maybe 2 or 3 fights you get caught and all of a sudden people are calling you chinny. But I'd say Nathan is now in the boxing ring and he is getting hit with big shots. Now in kickboxing there's a lot more to consider. You've got the leg kicks, you've got the knees coming into it. He's taking on Bob Mirovic here, he's getting hit with some good shots and he's taking them. So it really is the test of time that will answer that question.
Solid right hand just rocked the head back of Nathan Briggs, and he certainly took that one. Mirovic again just leaning his weight down right in front of our commentary position on Nathan Briggs. Into the final seconds now of this round. And Mirovic starting to turn on the pressure towards the final moments now. Really starting to land that right hand and the peppering jab to the chin of Nathan Briggs. Briggs breathing a little bit heavier now, and some swelling on the right eye of Nathan Briggs as we go to the towel hammer.
Well, I feel Nathan perhaps let Mirovic off earlier in that round. He had him over in the neutral corner.
Look at that eye there.
He was in a bit of bother. That was probably from that unintentional head clash there that Nathan was a bit concerned about. But Nathan probably lacked a little bit of killer instinct there. He had Mirovic hurt, I think, with some body shots early in that round, and could have really rolled in and unloaded on Mirovic, but he chose not to. He was a little bit more cautious. I think it was this exchange here, perhaps, where Nathan took the advantage and had Mirovic a little bit worried and perhaps let him off. But then Mirovic did come back a little in that round, but for mine it was still Nathan's round. This exchange right here, you see Nathan, Mirovic covering, was not even fighting out. He had the double guard going, and he was in really no position to unload with any big punches, but Nathan tended to let him off. He had the left hand side of his head completely exposed, Mirovic.
Well, it has been a great fight so far for Nathan Briggs, but I tell you what, Bob, the giant Mirovic came on a lot stronger towards the end of the last round. Can he maintain the momentum, the big fella? Here this stands up.
Was it that accidental headbutt? We're not saying it was intentional, but it seemed to rattle Nathan Briggs a little bit.
Yeah, I do agree with you there, Andy. I think he somewhat went wayward after that head clash, Nathan.
I tell you what, it's opened up a huge mouse. We'll call that one a rat under the right eye of Nathan Briggs, and Mirovic will hunt after it now. That snappy jab will pepper away to the damaged eye of Nathan Briggs. A looping wild hook there from Briggs. Didn't quite find the target. And Mirovic hits him with another 1-2. Briggs has got to keep his guard up. Mirovic will find the gap through to defence with that probing jab.
Maybe Nathan should try sitting that the rear hand in front of his face a little bit more. He's got it to the side there, which is enabling Mirovic to land the jab on the face of Briggs. Briggs maybe perhaps work that rear parry a little bit more. But Mirovic is, as I said, is a master of picking an opening, and he's doing it well.
Mark, is that going back to the kickboxing days where quite often the stance and the defence are a little bit more wide open than I guess a conventional boxing stance? As the latter rounds sort of come and go, you go back to what you know, and what Nathan Briggs first knew was kickboxing.
Well, I suppose that's true. And then Nathan's been kickboxing and doing martial arts since he was, a youngster under his father, and with his brother. They've been over to Thailand. They were fighting in Thailand when they were 16 years of age, in bars in Thailand. So they've been around forever. And although they're relatively young men, it seems on their record that they're a lot older, but they're still relatively young, and they've got a lot of years ahead of them. You give them another 5-6 years fighting career, easy, both the boys. But Nathan, I suppose he can revert a little bit to the kickboxing footwork, but you really need not to have your lead leg out too far when you're kickboxing, so you can leg check. And I don't think it's really affecting him at this point. I think his footwork is fine.
The Briggs boys will be celebrating their 26th birthdays in around about a month's time. Bob Mirovic, beautiful uppercut, left hook combination. Great combination there from Mirovic, perhaps his best combo of the fight so far. Just forces Briggs back into the red corner, and Cyril Cairns separates both men. We are 2 minutes 10 down in this round.
Undoubtedly Mirovic's best combination of the fight so far. Cairns, a lot of work, and I hope he's had a couple of months in the gym, because pushing these two mountains apart, it's going to test your pectoral muscles by the end of it for little Cyril Cairns. Nathan Briggs has the respect of Mirovic and vice versa. I can tell you there is a lot of respect in the ring at the moment. They've both been hit, they've both been peppered, they realise what their opponent has, and by and large the defences of both men have been rock solid for the opening couple of rounds.
Nice smacking body shot there off the right hand from Bob Mirovic. Briggs just ties him up. Cyril Cairns separates both men into the final seconds. There's the bell. Hammer, we go to the towers again. How do you see it?
Well, I think, Briggs is just racking up too many points. He's light and he's peppering, and that's, all good in the scorecards. Mirovic, in turn, as I said, his anticipation and his timing is good, and he's an experienced fighter, so he's going to have that great timing. But Briggs is not intimidated. He's pushing forward. You see him calling up Bob there, going, come on, bring it on. And
is that the wisest thing to do to a 116-kilo monster? I'm just thinking logically. I know Nathan Briggs can fight, but it'd be the last thing he'd be doing.
Yeah, I think, again, it's a game of psychology, and
yes.
When you've got an opponent in front of you going, is that your best shot, and you have let a couple of good ones go, you're thinking, geez, what do I have to do to hurt this guy? And you do get into that psychological warfare. Also, it's just in your psyche. I mean, I still, even when I was fighting, I suppose, not to talk about myself, but you do get into that mind frame where you're really telling it to yourself, like, come on, bring it on. I can take you. And it's not about sometimes, showing off. It's just about telling, confirming it with yourself that you've got the goods,
Round 6 of 12 for the National Heavyweight Championship. Bob Mirovic and Nathan Briggs putting on quite a display so far, a very technical display. Both men have been good without the big bombs. And Mirovic with a beautiful ride, and Briggs is down.
This is trouble time for Briggs. He's going to take the count.
6, 7, 8, okay.
Briggs has got to get up on the back foot now and move around, keep his hands up.
Briggs is on rubber leg
He's got to
straight
be
and
moving.
centering. Here comes the giant bomb, Mirovic. He can sense blood. Mirovic going headhunting now, 39 seconds down. Here comes the giant bomb, Mirovic, and Briggs just ties him up for dear life.
Well, there's a whole new lease of life to this fight now. Briggs has got to tie Mirovic up or be moving. He cannot be trying to exchange punches.
Briggs is still struggling. He is throwing leather, but nothing with any power or the power that he threw earlier. And Mirovic is on the front foot, right above our commentary position, and looking for the blow. Briggs is down, his legs are rubber, and Cyril Cairns putting a standing 8.
Nathan Briggs in a little world of hurt. Bob Mirovic is on a demolition mission. One more time down, and this one's over. Can Mirovic get him now? Mirovic going headhunting. Oh, down goes Briggs, and it's good night, Irene.
Bob Mirovic, the new Australian heavyweight champion.
Wow. That was very unfortunate for Briggs. He was looking good in that fight. He was putting it all together. He was moving well, landing some good, crisp, clean shots. But when the super heavyweights get in there, or the heavyweights rather, it's only one shot. It's only ever one shot. And the winner of that one shot tonight is certainly Bob Mirovic, a very experienced campaigner, and well done to him.
3 knockdowns in 1 round for Bob Mirovic, and he is the new Australian heavyweight champion. Let's go to Andy Raymond with both men. And Andy will be speaking to the champion, Bob Mirovic. What an absolute corker. We might take a look at the action as it went down in that round. Let's see if we can see the demise of Nathan Briggs' hammer.
Once again, that little overhand right caught Nathan on the start of that exchange, and then the big right hand. Left hook right hand is what put Briggs down for the first count, and then that was all downhill from there for Briggs. And then it was the left hook, and that was where it was called off. Very unfortunate there for Briggs. As I said, was looking quite stylish in the earlier rounds and putting his punches together, but when you got 116k behind a hook, that is really going to take its toll.
Andy Raymond with the official verdict.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner after referee Cyril Cairns said enough is enough, and new Australian heavyweight champion, the giant Bob Mirovic. Bob Mirovic, the belt proudly around the waist for the second time. Congratulations.
Oh, I'd like to thank everybody coming here, mate. What a fantastic crowd. This place really rocks, I tell you. I mean, Nathan was a favourite, but God's sakes, you know. Like I was here with Bugner. I beat Bugner. Jay, you know it too. You know it, you old fella. I wish you were still young enough to come back, mate.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Bugner in the house. Are you coming out of retirement, big guy?
He looks fit as a fiddle. Look at him.
I'm going to tell you, I hate Queensland losing to a New South Welshman, and this guy, I would trash him right now.
Bob Mirovic.
I'll tell you something, guys. Mate, the crowd here, no place will be big enough for a return with me, Joe. No place will be big enough, I tell you. I'll knock you out in 1 round this time.
Bob, I beat you once, I'll beat you again, and guess what? You will never ever beat Queensland in anything, because I'm going to avenge Briggs' challenge. You might be on. We're going to come back here and do it.
We are coming back to do it. Aussie Joe Bugner and Bob Mirovic embrace centre ring. Plenty of fun and games here at Explosion on Jupiters.